Hello, fellow leggers. You're joining us in Leicester at Curve, where it's all very nice and lit up, isn't it?
Do you know what?
And it's not that cold, but light-wise, it's beautiful.
It's not festive, but it's sort of different. They always have installations out here on Joe Orton Square.
Right.
And so there's always something interesting happening, and this beautiful installation is just one of those
Like a
things
cobweb.
tonight. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the lights.
What is that? What are we here for?
Although I've got a feeling we will be talking about the lights, because a lot of people are talking about the lights in this production of A Chorus Line.
So stick around, fellow leggers, to hear all of our thoughts.
Find out how many stars.
Whether to break a leg
Or leg it.
It's Christmas time, but it's typical with Curve. They don't always put on a Christmas show. Now, they did do White Christmas, but they've kind of gone a bit skew-iff with this one with a chorus line. Over Christmas, I hear you say? Yes, that's what they're doing.
I'm wondering where else have they not put a Christmas production on at
Have
Christmas
they always
before?
put a Christmas
I've no
production?
idea.
I don't
but
think
I
they
thought
have.
you said that was so convincingly. I was like,
Well, the
do
fact
they
they've
always?
done it now
And you know what?
means that they're just putting theatre on.
Panto's not for everybody. And if you're looking for something a bit different, but you want to have a Christmas night out, then come to Curve for a chorus line.
If you're a pantomime Grinch,
Yes.
this is for you.
But you know what? I'm more pantoed out.
We see a lot of panto.
Yeah, we do see a lot of
And you
panto
want
as a rule.
a chorus line because it's a meaty piece.
Well, you don't
What do we need
see
to know?
it very often. Like, there's that one production that seemed to go around Bar York Lee's direction. That production seemed to pop up here, there and everywhere for a long, long time.
did.
Written originally with a book by James Kirkwood Jr. and Nicholas Dante.
Yeah.
Music by Marvin Hamlish. Lyrics by Edward Kleban. And famously, choreography by Michael Bennett. And Bar York was sort of the naturals, because she was in the original cast and she knew Michael very well. And taking on the reins of that musical and his sort of idea and his vision was how I knew a chorus line up until now on stage.
Absolutely, because it's also really interesting to hear the story of how this evolved from like a drunken night just getting together with friends, Michael Bennett, just telling stories and recording the sessions, and as such this is a really earthy piece of theatre.
Telling stories about what it's like to
In
be
the industry,
on that
as a
in the
dancer
industry
on
on that
Broadway.
treadmill of audition, rejection, audition,
Yeah.
rejection, audition, rejection, and what makes people want to become performers in the first place. It's very much an autobiographical piece of a number of voices in the theatrical world from 1975, which is when it's originally premiered. A story about Zach, who's a director of an upcoming show, puts 24 dancers through their paces in order to pick his chorus line. Now, this production is directed by the artistic director of Curve here at Leicester. That's Nikolai Foster, the lovely Nikolai Foster.
Lovely guy.
We do indeed, and it's only 1 hour 50, no interval. Famously, no interval, but a long act. 1 hour 50 is quite the feat, isn't it?
It's not quite a follies,
It's
but
not
it's
a
long.
follies, but it's long.
Okay.
And we've got brand new choreography by Ellen Kane, and we've also got some stellar people in the cast of A Chorus Line. Now, I mean, famously, but I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Chorus Line won, like, swept the Tonys at the time.
At the time, it was
legendary.
revolutionary in terms of telling a story that hadn't been told. When you think of what a Broadway musical is, taking us backstage, and with the themes that, for its time, were really ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll speak more about
sexuality,
those.
Like, there's a lot in there
Afterwards.
Okay.
But famously, it was one of the longest-running Broadway musicals of all time, and I think the longest-running American penned musical of all time, still to this day on Broadway.
Wow.
All the rest of the Brit Invasion. All the rest of the long ones are Brit Invasion. So what do we need to know about this
You were
production?
talking about cast that are in
Yes.
this production.
I mean, let's just go no further but to say, if there's one reason to see it, it's Carly Mercedes Dyer. Carly has just been nominated for a What's on Stage award for her role in Anything Goes. She was sensational in that. She was here a couple of years ago at West Side Story, which she was sensational in. She is going to get a Olivier this year. I don't doubt it. You know, I put my money on that. I absolutely do.
Okay.
Also, we've got the Swan Lake dude.
Adam Cooper.
Adam bloody Cooper.
Playing the director Zach.
Matt Bourne's principal dancer for many, many, many years. He's playing the person presenter that really narrates this show and drives the show.
And I think what's nice about this piece is it's made up of its ensemble. Everybody gets a chance to shine. So it's a young, up-and-coming, vibrant company, and that's what I look forward to seeing.
Yep. We've got Beth Hinton-Lever, who we saw in West Side Story here. She was also in Millennials at the Turbine.
Oh, she was great.
We love her. And Jamie O'Leary, up-and-coming, and a Musical Theatre Appreciation Society aficionado as well, one of the crew, making his professional debut in this as well, in the role of Mark. Do you know what? We've gone on enough. If you want more,
we've got to get in.
There's documentaries about Chorus Line. There's even a movie from the 80s as well.
And the movie is great.
Go and do your research and then come back,
in my
and
opinion.
we will tell you all of our thoughts come the end.
See you in a bit.
And how many stars?
Fellow leggers, we have come to the end of A Chorus Line.
I'm thinking of a pun, and the only thing I can come with is like, are we lining up for a chorus line or hoping that this line takes us straight to the gallows?
Okay.
That's dark.
That's really
That's quite dark, isn't it? You'll be glad to know I'm gonna live to see another show, because A Chorus Line was, in my opinion, absolutely sensational, uplifting, relatable, and just a great entertaining, in a weird sort of gritty way. You know, my pun then was a little bit dark.
Yes.
This is a little bit dark.
It is a dark piece.
But also enjoyable, much like me.
It deals with so many themes. So I guess first of all we should talk about the piece in itself, A Chorus Line. I think we were talking about this earlier, and I think it is. It touches on so many themes that at its time, when it came out in 75, was it?
Yeah.
It would have been groundbreaking in terms of like having a gay character give a whole monologue. It really shines a light on the theatre community taking and being the family of many people who were left at that time. Outcasts, absolutely.
Who are shunned by their family and by the societies in which they lived.
And I think that is a real thing that stood out seeing this show, is that kind of key message of how these people come together to create a fantastic piece, and just sparkle. Sparkle.
And I do think...
And they're all talented,
and I
every
think
single one of them.
Everyone watching this will realise and will feel that theatre is a place that they belong, because in theatre and surrounded by theatre people, there's a real emphasis on the things that unite us, not the things that divide us, not those things that make us different. It's all about that passion. It's all about focusing on that thing that gets us all out of bed in the morning. And whether you're audience member or you are creative or you are performer, you can put everything else aside when you focus on the things that make you connect.
If you're in the room where it happens, if you make it to the final, how many is it, 16, 18 here?
Yeah.
If you don't get cut before, or if you don't get
But
to
the way
see the
I
show,
see it, right,
you got to be here.
It'll always be a
do you
different
know what I mean?
room of 16 people. So the next audition, that the ones that people get cut out of at that stage, the chances are they'll be in, that there will be times where they're the final 16. So those conversations will keep happening. They're not going to be limited to that room of people.
This is deep. Anyway, it's just a great piece telling the story.
Where I want to know, where's the origin stories and all of that.
Yeah.
I want A Chorus Line 2 to see where the people that get cut go.
Oh, like happens at the same time.
Yeah.
They run to another
they
audition.
Walk out of the door.
What lives? There's something there.
What's Sheila's story? Where does she go?
Where does Sheila go? Where does she go?
That's what I want to know.
What happens?
Yeah.
Do we journey? Do
Someone
we see
needs
over
to
a week,
write
a
that.
day,
And
a
I
year?
nominate Bar Oakley.
Anyway, so in terms of the piece, it's really interesting, and because it's a chorus line, and the director is wanting to see little snippets from everybody. Everybody gets their moment to shine. There's some really nice sequences that seem to go on. Like there's a sequence where they go back to their teenage years that went on and on and on, but was so beautifully crafted in this staging production. But as a sequence, is great. The ballet sequence at the ballet is a lovely sequence.
Yep.
The sequence where they're learning one at the end is a beautiful sequence.
Before they even get to
this
perform
production,
it. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like the sequences are great,
Yep.
and seeing the process that people go to that I imagine wouldn't have been known in the 1975. Like, what is it like to attend an audition,
Yep.
an open audition where there are floods of people? What does the director have to do? What are the characters that the performers put on to say, hey, pick me, pick me? Like, there's so much in there that would have been really insightful.
And I have the question that, because I was questioning myself before. You're right then.
John, my glasses.
I have a question about I was thinking, how is this? This is 1975, and this production is set in 1975. How can it possibly still be relevant today? But the process hasn't changed all that much, and I don't know whether that's inspiring or depressing, that nothing has moved on, really. Outside of COVID and people having to self-tape everything
Yes,
and
that
send
has
that
changed.
off, that's a bit different. But now we're all back in the room in front of the same people doing the same moves, and apart from, I want to ask this question, as an ex-performer, is every director, when you're going for an ensemble role, as nosy a bastard as Zach?
No.
Like, how many? He's going, tell me your trauma. Tell me about the first time you masturbated. I'm like, this is a bit creepy.
He doesn't ask that question.
But
per
he
se.
basically
He's curious.
does.
But I think there's something. And
Why does he need to know? I'm
just
like,
been-
mate, I just want to do this. Why do I have to tell you about my
Just give me a
abusive,
line to sing.
like, parents?
I just
What's
want to kick
going
my
on?
legs.
Just give me
We've just
a chance
been to a
come
Q&A
through.
because the Curve here, they're great. They do Q&As, and we got to speak to the cast. And Adam Cooper was there, a lovely, quiet, humble guy. And I almost wanted to say, what is his deal? Like, what have you worked
Why
through with
does he
Nikolai?
need to know?
Because there needs to be something. What is going on for Zach at this moment in time that he's shaken things up? What is the midlife crisis? Is it because Cass is there and he's like, or is it as simple as the fact, I just want to see you talk because it'll make it easier for when I cast these speaking parts? It's just something I thought about. Or
But
is it
there's
deeper?
stuff-
But
he
it
definitely
makes a good
doesn't.
question.
I want to say, mind your own. Like, seriously. Wind your neck in, Zach, because that's creepy shit. But anyway, right, let's move on to some of
Let's move on to this production
Yes,
then.
let's move
What do we
on.
think of this production
Well,
of A Chorus Line? We're
I
saying
think
it's
that
great.
Howard Hudson is probably one of the greatest designers of lighting that we've seen since Ben Cracknell.
He's great, and it's not just the lighting design, it's the flies as well. There's something I don't think I've ever said before, but the flies back in the day used
You'll have to
be
explain what the
pulleys,
flies
like
are.
the
Like, 'cause we're
fly
not talking
tower
about this,
to
like-
make things fly in and fly out. You have all these rows of lights, all automated, that are flying at various points in beautiful synchronization.
Yeah.
Like it's the lighting and the flying combined.
Do you know what we'll do
that
then?
turns this bare space into a dynamic,
And moving
illuminated
as well. Like, it feels like it's got
beacon.
It's got like motion in it. The lighting has. I
does.
don't know how to explain it.
You got to
has
see it from
this
the stalls, I'd almost say.
perpetuality. And I think we need to call them all a lighting team of Joe McDonald, Nathan Clamp, Jude Mitchell, Reese Parker, and Sophie Alexander, to bring that vision of Howard's to life with that fluidity and that precision night after night. You're the unsung heroes of this piece.
Yeah, the
this
piece, the
production.
talent, the music and the lighting
Yeah.
combine.
Not the music and the mirror.
To make
music and the lighting.
the music and the lighting.
It is.
There we go.
Also, I would say choreography by Ellen Kay. Now, luckily enough to have a conversation with the cast members, the choreography for A Chorus Line is iconic. That
It
original Michael Bennett choreography.
Yep.
How to take that on and decide to do something different with it surely is intimidating. But upon conversations with the cast, the fact that Ellen has allowed them to bring in a little bit of their own truth, a little bit of their own body, a little bit of their own rhythm into this choreography means that it feels like it suits the actor that's portraying that character, and they're not shoehorning something in. And I admire that a lot.
It's gone from something that could be quite limiting to something that's quite liberating for each performer, I think.
Yeah.
And in terms of creativity, it is a visual feast. And I think that's what's nice is we're not recreating. They have created, which makes it from an audience point of view. Oh, I know this. I know the movie quite well. I know
Yeah.
from YouTube the iconic stuff.
And everyone's doing this.
I'm seeing this.
Like, you're all doing that, right? Not
It's
in
all
this,
there.
and that's fine. That is
Yeah,
absolutely
and
fine.
it's nice to see that interpretation, which is all again what they do here at the Curve, similar to West Side Story that they did recently, where they reimagined that with
Reimagine
new
it.
choreography.
Yeah.
So that's great to see.
And I would also call out the sound designer, Tom Marshall, because there's use of mics, there's use of sound effects. You feel like you're in New York to begin with. These sorts
There's stuff
of
coming from over
bassy
there,
moments as
there's
well.
heartbeats.
I really
Some
like
really nice
those,
subtle undertones.
those subtle sound designs.
Yeah, really good point actually, because there's a point at the end where it's a solo dance number of just before they go into one, and he's doing this kind of vocal stuff like with specific
Yes.
moves, and it's like the vocal effect is rippling around the auditorium. It sounds great. It
does.
sounds quite modern, a modern take.
Contemporary.
Yeah, really contemporary.
Like
In fact,
street dance.
it's contemporary movement
A
in
bit
itself,
like
and that's
beatboxing
beautiful.
almost. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how you make something that is 1975 born and bred relevant. Well
and
done.
also gives your cast members a chance to get into their gold glittery stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a good feel, and
Yeah.
it works really well.
does.
Beautiful segue.
Yeah, I can just imagine them going, shit, what are we going to do here? But they made the right choices. They made the right choices.
Yeah, really, there's so many
Yeah.
right choices in this production.
Let's move on to some cast members.
Cast members.
Let's talk about Adam Cooper in the role of Zach. I mean, I never thought I'd get the chance to see Adam Cooper on stage dancing. I thought those days were gone.
And he
can
still
still
got it.
move.
He's still got it. He's
The
still
guy-
really sharp.
Principal dancer for so many
Yeah.
years. How that guy has not fallen apart at the hinges, I do not know.
And
I
there
do
is
not know.
something that I think that brings to this role, knowing that he's been such a legendary principal dancer,
Yeah.
to then come into this role, it adds that element of authenticity. It's like, okay, that's good.
He played Swan in 1995.
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't born.
Who else do you want to talk about? In terms of
Who else
cast?
don't I want to talk about? I mean, let's talk about Carly Mercedes Dyer in the role of Cassie.
She's brilliant. I mean, it's tricky when you love someone. You're thinking, oh gosh, let's hope this isn't the role where we fall out of love. But I think it's just cemented the love. The Cupid's bow has struck
This is
true.
so different from what we've seen her in.
Yeah,
we've never
so
seen
exposed
her
on
in
a solo level.
in a solo level with this much movement. We've just not seen it. Anything goes. You can hide behind the comedy of that script. You can put a wacky voice on. You can sell it. She sells it really well. I mean, What's on Stage Award nominee. But you can't do that with this piece. There's nothing to hide behind, both metaphorically and physically, and that is exceptional work from Carly. It
And
really
she has
is.
the whole stage through music and the mirror,
Yeah.
and she can sing it out. Oh my goodness, the vocals are so good. And then she moves and then she sings again, and then it's A class stuff.
The control, the breath. Anyway,
Hence
Beth-
why she's an Breaker Leggers award winner.
Award winner.
Just saying.
She is. We need to drop
yeah.
that off. Beth Hinton-Lever as Baby. We love Beth.
We do, and again we saw her in West Side Story. Now was she in? What else did we see her
We
in?
saw her in Millennials. We didn't do a review
Millennials,
for Millennials.
that's right, Elliot
I feel like
Clay's
we've seen
work.
him quite a bit, but I've never seen her dance before. Not to this level of dance before. I didn't know she had it in her. And my God, has she not just got it in her? She gushes it all out at us.
And really good casting, probably worth mentioning this in terms of representation,
Yes.
diversity and inclusion.
She's a disabled
and They
actress.
made Beth's part work so beautifully in this. It's almost as if it's written.
Yes.
I'm so proud
I
of the
think that's
decisions
the
they made.
point. They don't hide away, and she's never, and quite rightly so, has never hidden away from her disability. And when they say that different, it sure isn't pretty. Pretty is where it's about. The fact that she acknowledges her disability and
Yeah.
you're special, you're different, but you have a disability. It smacks different than I think it would ever smack with a fully able-bodied performer. And my God, I'm living for it.
Yeah, and that's funny.
Living for
she
it.
owns everything.
Yeah.
In terms of the choreography, it's solid, made it work. A beautiful marrying of making it work. Like, it's a joy to see. Who else
Rachel
would you
Jane
want to call out?
Picard in the role of Connie.
Oh, Rachel Jane
just because
Picard.
she's an old friend of yours.
She is.
And
Love you, Rachel.
knowing how long ago you worked with her, can I just say, whatever you're putting on your skin, babe, it's working a treat. You look fabulous.
Yes, lovely
You
to
look
see
absolutely
Rachel
fabulous.
again.
Jamie O'Leary making his debut in the role of Mark Anthony, who really gets to drive Hello 12, Hello 13, Hello Love with these comedy moments, which I felt he really had a great grasp of the sort of awkwardness of him from start to finish. It's a believability about that number, which comes across really nicely from Jamie. He's going to go far.
It's tricky because the whole company is great. It's
They
worth
are.
saying that.
But one more that I know
was
you
gonna
were
say there's two I'm gonna call
okay,
out.
two. Start with Charlotte Scott in the role of Maggie Winslow. I know.
Fantastic vocals. These are iconic vocals when you're singing at the ballet, at the ballet, at the ballet. Like, beautiful. We're in
range.
such safe hands. During the ballet, she just holds this note for ages and ages and then expands it and builds. It's just so beautiful to listen to. And then she holds it like the vocals are special. And from singing, I was then looking to see, hang on, how's her dancing? Show me your dancing.
Where are
Surely
you
there
letting
must be a fault.
What are you compensating
Where,
with
yeah,
here?
and there's nothing. It's like, please, that's not
Makes
fair.
you sick.
So it's beautiful.
Makes you sick.
The other one I call out is Everyday Morales. Morales. I really liked what Morales was doing as well. A real earthiness.
That is Lizzie Rose Essin Kelly as Diana Morales.
There's one more as well.
Very few. This is Lizzie's professional debut as well.
What?
So she's never, and actually she gets a lot to do.
She does get two really nice numbers.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed though. She doesn't get an applause point because I was
Yeah,
there.
it's raced through.
Oh, it's moved on. And I
think that brings us neatly onto one of the problems with this show is that there's no room to let a lot of the text land.
Well, before we do
speed,
that,
yeah.
yes, I was going to say the other person who I really, really liked was Tits and Ass. Who is that? Tits and Ass.
You keep talking, keep singing.
Because there's this beautiful
That's Val.
scene.
It's Dance 10 Looks 3, and it's sang by the
It comes
role
out of a
Val.
huge dance sequence, and then she drops straight into open
Chloe
up this monologue.
Saunders in the role of
Val.
professional debut again.
What? Like, she's going places.
Launching
because
her
the
career
acting
here.
was good. The acting was solid. Talking of acting, we need to talk about the guy as well.
Do we?
Who plays Paul, is it?
Paul.
Yeah, he gets a really big monologue, and that's really enjoyable. Again, grounded.
This is Ainsley Hall Ricketts. We could be here all day,
Grounded.
guys.
A really nice grounded scene.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you need. You're right, we could be here.
And the link
Where it
in
comes,
on, yes.
Yes.
So whilst he's grounded and he gets those moments, some of the conversations that happen are driven by the music. And as a result, they have to hit the beats on certain moments. And as a result, they don't always land particularly well. I'm thinking of not what they are doing with Zach and Cassie's argument. The fact that they have to make it fit the sequence feels like there could be more in the silences in terms of anger, attack, venom that doesn't get a chance to shine here. The music does the book a disservice there, I feel.
Yeah, it is a pace issue, isn't it? It's specifically in these climatic moments to where Cassie and Zach are coming to these revelations about the whole piece and the conflict. And look at this, and all through that, all through that, they're doing it while the choreography is going on. So they've got to get these bits of dialogue text ready in time for the next vocal or the next moment to come in, and as such, some of that that key text is being powered through at quite a pace, and it doesn't have room to flex. And there's real key drama that I would like to see sit, and instead it's ready for the music.
There are points
I would want
where
space. I'd want it more to vamp and to be free. That's one thing that stood out to me.
There's points where you can clearly see the strength is in the book. As a play, if you stripped away the music, those would be the high intensity, high emotion moments.
Without the music,
and because
you
the
could hold
music
it and stretch
is
it out.
literally
Absolutely.
rocket up the arse, forcing you along, you don't get the chance to do it. And that's where this piece falls down. But I've got to say, that's a fault of the music book and lyrics. It's not a fault of the production. It's certainly not a fault of the director. Nikolai has done a fantastic job here.
We haven't spoken about Nikolai, have we?
It's
really good.
Probably the best piece I've seen of his in terms of boldness, just sheer bold ambition.
Yeah, it's very different to Annie, but I loved Annie. But this in itself,
it ain't no Annie.
White Christmas as well was good, but this is just
kitsch.
earthy.
It ain't kitsch.
And with the lights, it's grounded, and just that huge vacuumous open space, being able to feel that with one artist or with the cast, it was great stuff.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. We've been talking forever. And considering there's no fucking interval in this, and it's only 1 hour 50 straight through, why are we still here?
Well,
for the
you're probably wondering how many stars we're going to give.
I'm just desperate to get to the end. I just need a drink.
A chorus line at Curve, Leicester.
We are going to give 4 stars for this piece. Really strong 4 stars.
Really strong
in terms
4 stars.
of cast that you are going to see here first and brag about in like 5 years' time when they're leading West End shows. Get here for this now because you want to have those bragging rights, and this production is giving you those with a cast that is second to none. The fact that Nikolai and his team have pulled these people out of directly from their training and put them on this stage smacks of the belief that is rightfully placed in this cast.
Yes, in terms of seeing talent on stage, you pay because you want to see talent, you see it here. Talk about triple threat, you're seeing some fantastic stuff. Music is great, the book is really cutting edge as well, I think.
Still,
some of its
40
themes.
plus years on, is still cutting edge, and that
And
says
just
a
as
lot.
meaningful, because one of the key questions is, what would you do if you couldn't dance, if you couldn't do this? And we've just come out of COVID, and you were saying the question is, many of
Not
the people
only-
in the profession have been faced with this. What do I do?
In every
What do I
profession.
do now that I can't?
We,
in many,
2
yeah,
years
absolutely.
ago,
so it's still
we
relevant.
all had the thing that made us feel who
Our
we were,
identity.
our identity, taken away from us in many respects, whether that be going to the theatre or working in the industry, whether that be a community group, whether that be a church, whatever it is that gives you a sense of purpose and identity was gone. And not only have we been we've been asked the question, what will you do when your dance is taken away from you? We were forced to answer it, and that's what makes this piece still relevant 45 plus years on.
That's
That's
deep, isn't
deep.
it? What do
That's
you do
deep.
when you can't dance anymore?
I mean, I've not been
We
smoking
had
pot,
our
but that's
dance
philosophic.
taken away.
Yeah, had it taken away.
We had our dances taken away.
I'm deep, guys. I know you think I'm the comedy. I'm like this is the straight man, and I'm like the fool. I'm deep. I've got layers. Anyway, that's just what I think.
And totally what I think.
What do you think? Let us know down below. Get a damn ticket. Come
Gotta be
to
quick.
Leicester.
Yes.
It's only on this month, and
It'll be
we've got
worth
it on
it.
good authority that it can't. Not only is it not going to go anywhere else after this, it can't go anywhere else after this, and that's all we're going to say. So miss it, miss out. You've had your warning. We're the Breaker Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.